doesn't make a sound, it just reflects what's overhead. The sky, the stars, the turning ground, and all the things I left unsaid. Still like water, clear and deep. This is mine, alone to keep. Still water, mirror of the night, holding dark and holding light. Still water, calm and wide. Everything I feel inside. I used to rush through every day and miss the surface of the still. Now I let the moments wait and find this beauty in the fill. Still like water, clear and deep. This is mine, alone to keep. Still water, mirror of the night, holding dark and holding light. Still water, calm and wide. Everything I feel inside. Still water. Reflecting. I sit sometimes in the unlit room, not sad, just resting in the dark, finding in the comfortable gloom the quiet of the unlit arc. Unlit room, this is fine. Darkness making things more mine. The unlit room, dark and wide. Everything I need. body relaxes in the unlit, in ways that lit rooms never bring. Something in the dark permits a different kind of resting thing. Unlit room, this is fine. Darkness making things more mine. The unlit room, dark and white. Everything I need inside. The unlit room, soft and real. A darkness I can actually feel. Sitting in the unlit, not afraid of the dark. Never was, really. Every room I've ever known has left something in my hands, a feeling I have never shown, a thing nobody understands. Rooms I've known and rooms I've left, rooms of warmth and rooms of depth, rooms that held me through the night, rooms that taught me what was right. This room now is cold and mine. The lamplight makes it almost gold. I trace the cracks along the vine and feel less fragile, less alone. Rooms I've known and rooms I've left, rooms of warmth and rooms of depth, rooms that held me through the night, rooms that taught me what was right. A room is just a feeling, four walls and open ceiling, but somehow rooms remember each quiet night and tender. Rooms I've known, still holding, still here. Everything I feel waxes and wanes, like the light behind the clouds. Some weeks full and some weeks faint. Some days days quiet, some days loud. Wax and wane, this is fine. Everything moves in its own time. Wax and wane, tide and turn. This is how I live and learn. I've stopped expecting constant brightness, stopped demanding full and clear. There's a beauty in the cycle of appearing and disappear. Wax and wane, this is fine. Everything moves in its own time. Wax and wane, tide and turn. This is how I live and learn. Waning is not failing. Waxing is not winning. It's just the moon doing what the moon has always been doing. Wax and wane. Wax and wane, always returning. Between the black of night and morning gray, there lives a blue that has no proper name. The sky discovers it before the day, and then the light arrives and it's the same. The blue between the nameless hour, the quiet before the world reclaims its power. The blue between where the temperature is just enough. Not too hot, not too cold, not leaving room for anything but the soft stuff. Thermal pool, warm and deep, the kind of warm that helps me sleep. Thermal pool, let me in, the warmth below the everyday din. Thermal pool, soft immerse, better than I feared, better than worse. The day was cold in ways I couldn't name, the kind of cold that lives in interaction. The thermal pool of evening is the same as always, warm beyond distraction. Thermal pool, warm and deep, the kind of warm that helps me sleep. Thermal pool, let me in, the warmth below the everyday din. Thermal pool, soft immerse, better than I feared, better than worse. Submerged in the warm, finally warm. Stay here a while. I drift away, warm air drifts upward, without intention, without weight. Something in me always turns toward the quiet rise before too late. Thermal drift, soft descent into something not yet meant. Thermal drift, rising slow, letting the warm current go. Thermal drift, light and free, becoming what I need to be. Not ambition, not a plan, just the body finding warmth, the way everything naturally can move toward its own true north. Thermal drift, soft ascent into something not yet meant. Thermal drift, rising slow, letting the warm current go. Thermal drift, light and free, becoming what I need to be. week is barely half alive. I'll make my coffee, watch it linger, and let the ordinary thrive. Tuesday rain, unremarkable, just water on the window glass. Tuesday rain, unstoppable, like everything that comes to pass. There's mercy in the midweek rain, and having no particular reason to feel the weight of what remains between the start and end of season. Tuesday rain, unremarkable, just water on the window glass. Tuesday rain, unstoppable, like everything that comes to pass. Not dramatic, not a sign, just rain on a Tuesday, which is perfectly fine. Tuesday rain, falling without meaning, that's enough. There's a still point in the middle of the turning, where everything stops for a breath. Not arrival, not the yearning, just the quiet before and after death. Still point at the center now, everything finding out how. Still point, warm and wide, the eye of everything inside. I find it most at late hour, when the turn slows its pace, when I can feel the quiet power of the center of my space. Still point at the center always there at the center of the turning. You don't find it, you remember it. Still point right here at the center. Always was. Someone has to watch the night, make sure it arrives and leaves with care. Someone has to hold the light between the dark and morning air. Night watch quietly kept for everyone who finally slept. Night watch soft and slow, keeping vigil in the low. Night watch, this is mine, standing at the evening line. I don't mind the quiet duty of staying up when others rest. There's a strange and tender beauty in doing what you do best. Night watch quietly kept for everyone who finally slept. Night watch soft and slow, keeping vigil in the low. Night watch, this is mine, standing at the evening line. All quiet on the night front, everyone's safe. I'll stay a little longer. The morning comes in gray and silk, unwraps the city soft and slow. The night dissolves like drops of milk into the places only I know. Gray silk over everything, the quiet that the hours bring. Gray silk, soft and real, everything I cannot feel. Gray silk, cool and thin, let the morning back me in. movie on